Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shina Song, and I work for NIRS, which stands for National Information Resources Service. I'm an Assistant Deputy Director within Planning and Strategy Division of NIRS, and I'm in charge of international cooperation and roles related to the promotion center of our institute. I'm very honored and glad to deliver this presentation to you. I welcome all of you to this session, and I thank you very much for taking time for me today. I hope I fill up a very interesting 40 minutes of your time. I'll try my hardest, so let's start. The presentation will be in 3 parts, which include general information, major responsibility, and future roadmap of NIRS. Before we get into the topics, I'd like to show you a video clip of NIRS in order to briefly introduce who we are and what we do. The video is about 6 minutes, so I'll get back to you after.
Continuous effort and strong desire driven towards a better future had led today's advanced digital government. Connecting the world and leading innovative trend of ICT. National Information Resources Service, the forefront leader of Korean ICT. In the early 2000s, the quantitative growth of e-government had been accelerated in terms of services provided by the Korean government. However, independent manner of government information resource management per respective agency caused a number of problems such as redundant investment, vulnerable security environment, and insufficient human resources. To inclusively resolve all these issues, the Data Center for the Exclusive Use of the Government was established in 2005 with optimal infrastructure and operational expertise. Since its establishment, NIRS has been making its best efforts to achieve its mission to provide quality ICT service which leads the digital government. With its house-designed operational solutions, including NTOPS, NSIMs, and service-oriented monitoring systems, NIRS is committed to providing more convenient and stable services to the people by effectively operating the systems and preventing from various threats. Cyber Threat Defense System, based on artificial intelligence technology, boasts its capability to protect against various types of attack, such as hacking, DDoS, and malware. The systems assure safe and stable digital government services 24/7. Most services of the government agencies are also being migrated to the government cloud system called GCloud in order to provide smarter e-government services. The GCloud facilitates flexible use of information resources and co-utilization among government agencies, which eventually save budget and increase a resource use rate. Big data, one of the core technologies in the era of Fourth Industrial Revolution. NIRS actively supports policymaking by its scientific analysis of big data. Sophisticated analysis of the data does not only resolve the current social issues, but also provide convenience of the public. HAN, the big data analysis platform for government officials, plays a significant role for the technology to be spread out in the public sector. The number of users has dramatically increased from 2,000 in 2016 to over 100,000 as of today. NIRS aims to become Intelligent Cloud Computing Center so that a more stable and smarter e-government services are available. Stability level of the system operation will be enhanced by its real-time disaster recovery system, as well as the automated management system operating the 4 centers in Daejeon, Gwangju, Daegu, and Gongju as a single body. The Intelligent Data Center, with various technologies such as IoT, Big Data, and AI, which involves minimum human intervention, will proactively respond to changed patterns of users. Through Public Big Data Center, NIRS will play the pivotal role to make major policies and future strategies by linking the public and private data resources and sharing relevant know-hows and technologies. Based on striking achievements of NIRS, such as stabilized system operation, a safer cyberspace, successful cloud migration, and effective use of big data in public sector, NIRS will continue to exert its finest endeavor to take the global lead with its progressive work innovation and persistent adaptation of new technologies.
So, how did you find it? Have you had some ideas about NIRS? The video was actually made a couple of years ago. During the recent years, there have been some changes made within the institute. For example, did you see the image of our office having the Big Data Analysis Division in the middle of the video clip? There was explanations about tasks related to big data as well. The big data team has now been absorbed into the Ministry of Interior and Safety in 2020, last year. So all the duties and responsibilities about big data are now carried out by the Ministry of Interior and Safety. Due to the changes made during the past years, we are currently making a new video clip about NIRS, and it will probably be ready within later this year. I hope you have an opportunity to come across it when it's ready, as you will be able to find it when you browse around our website. So let's now look closely into NIRS, and we'll start with general information. So let's start with the establishment of NIRS. So why was it built at the beginning? NIRS was established in 2005. This means that before 2005, information resources of each ministry were managed by individual sites respectively. There were good things about independent manner of system operations, as they control their assets, human resources, and budget on their own. However, there were a few unignorable operational problems, and they are the issues that you're now seeing on the slide. There were redundant investment of government funds due to development of similar systems by each ministry. In order to equip government system in each ministry, the ministries had to get their budget individually for their system. However, the systems built in each place had lots of similarities, as they are all government administrative agencies under the same operational act. As the systems were individually established, there were gaps in capability in system operation among ministries. Service reliability were not able to be ensured due to underdeveloped computing environment in general. In addition, as time goes by, the system and the computing environment were outdated on top of the lack of expertise in the field of each ministry. The greatest problem was that the systems were largely exposed in various kinds of cyber threats, such as hackings, viruses, and DDoS, since there were almost no defense system against them. To comprehensively resolve all these problems, the government decided to establish the data center exclusively for the government use with optimal infrastructure, environment, and operational expertise. This is why NIRS was established. The first name of the agency was Governmental Integrated Data Center, and it was built in a place called Daejeon. For you who's planning to travel Korea after the COVID-19 period, just for your information, Daejeon is about 2 hours drive, 1 hour bullet train away from Seoul, the capital of Korea. It is located almost in the middle of South Korea, and this is one of the reasons of locating NIRS in Daejeon. As far as I know, Bern was selected as the capital of Switzerland, and it is situated within the middle of the country. This is the same reason for our location, and I think it's definitely easier to reach for government officials spread all around the country. Our corporate mission is to provide quality ICT services leading the digital government. To accomplish this goal, we are implementing 5 innovative tasks. They are to complete intelligent cloud infrastructure system, to equip AI-based cybersecurity management system, to advance the operational system, to provide innovative service to support digital government innovation, and last but not the least is to improve future-driven organization and enhance core competencies. We are working towards our vision of becoming a professional institute that provides intelligent cloud service, effectively leading and supporting digital government innovation. NIRS is currently operating 2 centers. So one is in Daejeon, which is in the main center that I came from, and the other one is in Gwangju. Getting away from the core points again for a second, Gwangju is another 2-hour drive from Daejeon Center, and after the COVID-19, I strongly recommend you to visit the place, as the place is known as such good Korean food. Around 290 government officials are working in the 2 centers, and about 800 private sector professionals are working within the 2 centers. So over 1,000 people in total are working for operation and maintenance of information system. There are 2 more centers which belong to NIRS that are currently being built. The first is Daegu Center, in charge of the cloud system, and the second is Gwangju Center, which is only for the backups. Daegu Center will start to operate within this year, and Gwangju Center will be established in 2022, right next year. We are very looking forward to having these 2 centers and anticipating a more efficient and effective working environment. The responsibilities that NIRS carries out are shown on the slide in front of you. So they include integrated operation of digital government system, GCloud, which Daegu Center will be focusing on, cybersecurity management, and KNET. We'll now start looking into the details of each topic. First topic is integrated operation of digital government systems. In total, 45 ministries and agencies service is operated and maintained with approximately 15,000 software and 29,000 hardware, including servers, storages, networks, and security devices. Daejeon Center, the main center, takes care of digital government services provided by 22 different central ministries, including Ministries of Justice, Education, Health and Welfare, Trade and Industry, Finance, Small Businesses, and Culture and Sports, etc. It also includes Ministry of Interior and Safety, National Environment Service, and National Statistic Office as well. The services are related to the everyday life of the nation. Whereas Gwangju Center is in charge of services provided by 23 agencies, including National Police Agency, National Patent Office, Military Manpower Administration, and Forest Service as well. It also includes Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and National Tax Service too. The services looked after by Gwangju Center is more related to social order. Many visitors ask whether we charge those client agencies for our services. The answer is no. We do not charge as we are very generous. Sorry, I'm just kidding. We do not charge as we are a non-profit government institution. However, we measure cloud resources usage rate for each agency, as it may be used as a reference when we decide to run a fair imposing system over clients in the future. We are also often asked whether the agencies can choose to entrust their resources to NIRS, whether it is optional or compulsory. The answer is that it's a must thing to follow, which is compulsory. It's not an option for the client agencies to choose. All government agencies are to entrust their resources to NIRS, as the government decided to do so since 2005 when we were built. The second point is GCloud. I mentioned the GCloud quite a few times in the earlier presentation, and we'll look into the details of it now. GCloud is responsible for promptly collecting demands of client agencies' IT resources, comprehensively integrating and implementing the resource pool, and co-utilizing it to deliver smart digital government services. After new digital government services were launched, amount of information resources to be kept was growing for various reasons, such as public convenience improvement, increase in the government business innovation, and expansion in the existing services. Against this backdrop, Korean government was needed to reduce down the largely spent maintenance costs, improve efficiency due to requirement of operating various types of resources by standardizing them, set up a smart domestic standards suite for universal environment, and to improve efficiency by allocating resources only in need per workload. NIRS started IT resource integration projects in 2009 by creating a hardware resource pool which consolidates resources with a high-performing device through bulk purchasing. Requested gears were purchased as high performance and large volume ones, so they could be shared among the agencies. Cloud First policy was introduced in 2011 by introducing cloud computing technology in order to allocate and recollect resources in need. From 2013, on the top, NIRS actually initiated cloud computing technologies to the pool, and we operated the GCloud platform and made the resources available in more advanced and efficient way. In 2020, last year, we started working on implementing infrastructure for intelligent cloud service, which will apply to 2 new centers in Daegu and Gwangju. In this year, 2021, advancement job is ongoing by improving the way it is migrated. In the earlier days, resources were migrated to the cloud by equipment unit, which was done for the outdated equipment. Whereas it is now migrated by business unit, so the resources related to the business tasks are moved together to the cloud regardless of the location of the resources, which increased work efficiency. We often get asked whether we hire any private cloud service provider for all these works. The answer is no, we do not hire any private provider. NIRS is supporting critical government document and security management services. Hence, for the purpose of confidentiality as well, we do not procure any private provider. However, in order to proactively cope with the pan-governmental cloud computing stimulating policies, we are putting our best efforts to make the system best and find some ways to collaborate with private cloud professionals. I think I mentioned before very briefly, data from 22 central government agencies closely related to the public services will be mainly taken care of by NIRS main center in Daejeon. And the other 23 government agencies associated with the public security will be primarily managed by the center in Gwangju. The Daegu Center, which is expected to be completed in this year, will control data of public institutions such as National Health Insurance Services and Government Employee Pension Service. By the next year, 2022, it is considered to close construction projects for Daegu Center and the exclusive backup center in Gwangju. We are anticipating the intelligent infrastructure which will wisely connect all these 4 centers. We sometimes get asked how the client agencies deal with the new movement, whether they are okay about the new cloud projects without any resistance. I mean, everyone feels hard to learn something new, so clients in the earlier stages express their difficulties in migrating the legacies into the cloud system. However, they are now very cooperative and ready as they have reached a consensus that the cloud is competent enough as not only in flexible resource allocation, but also in availability management. Efficiency, resilience, and availability are all to be improved by implementing the cloud computing infrastructure, and costs required for procurement and operation have also been reduced down. This is well accepted and understood now, so that the resistance to the new system does not exist that much. Let's now move to the cybersecurity management. Trends of cyber threats these days are getting more advanced, and the number of attacks aiming NIRS keeps increasing. As you can see on the slide, the number started with 49 million attacks in 2017. On the left-hand side, you can see. And it passed through 73 million in 2018, 84 million in 2019, and 100 million in 2020. As you can see on the slide, the importance of cybersecurity is getting more important these days. The increasing number of attacks and newly transformed and falsified threats tend to lead to the limit in terms of the traditional manner of responding models. In order to effectively respond to those wild attacks, NIRS introduced NSIMS, the house-designed big data log analysis system, in 2013. When an event happens from information and security device, whether it is normal or abnormal, there will be a log record. Daily created log amount is about 48 terabytes, and this is equivalent to around 53 million Amazon ebooks under the condition that the volume of each book is 973 kilobytes. Now we can see that it has become quite challenging, and I think it's nearly impossible to analyze this gigantic amount of information with the outdated way. And this is why we decided to implement NSIMS employing big data technologies. It took us 3 hours to locate a specific IP from files of logs. However, it only takes less than 4 seconds now in NSIMS platform. Therefore, we are now capable of managing incidents and unknown cyber threats in a very more prompt way. NIRS collects threat information of home and abroad real time. Compiled information are classified whether they are harmful or not after being identified and investigated through comprehensive internal analysis scheme. The approved responding policies over new risks are applied to internal systems, and they are verified with big data and AI systems again. To talk about how we secure these internal data safe, in order to prevent the internal data from leaking, NIRS encrypts all documents so that they could not be used outside even if they happen to be disclosed. Basically, most of portable storage devices such as USB, laptop, and hard drive, as well as paper document, are not allowed to be carried in or out physically, so that it can cut off a possible ditch in fundamental basis. On top of that, account management for access over security equipment has been reinforced to control unauthorized users' illegal approach. Retired employees' email accounts are being deleted within a week after the day of official leave. While most of previous analyzing manners were human-dependent, NIRS could dramatically improve responding capability over known attacks by introducing AI technology in the field. In this way, we could also proactively prevent risks from unknown and new and falsified threats in advance. So, what benefits would be expected from implementing AI-based security management system? First of all, processing scope will be expanded from about 200,000 events currently taking place per day to over 10 million. And processing speed will also be improved from 10 minutes to 30 seconds per event. On top of that, responding capability over unknown attacks will definitely get better through practicing detecting abnormalities over normal behaviors. We expect such innovation will bring reduction in risk cost benefit of at least 4.5 up to 9 billion US dollars. There are always pros and cons in everything. So what obstacles would be anticipated while applying AI technology to the current system? Initial drawbacks we came up with when implementing the AI system was that we might need to consume more resources to operate, including the legacies at the same time. AI is like a baby, requiring learning periods which definitely demands more resources, such as forces to take care of existing systems and conduct additional studying and analyzing duties. For instance, it is expected to take about 6 months to create a primary model and 2 years to make it advanced. Those intelligent and large-scale cyber attacks are quite demanding to be detected or blocked in advance in a personal or country level. Therefore, it is considered essential to establish and vitalize a mutual information sharing system that could catch and block new threats beforehand across public-private boundaries, and an international cooperation system that could take control problems together when infringement happen to effectively respond to those threats. In order to successfully operate various sets of global cooperation assemblies in the area of cyber threat management, we suppose it is also important to build a reliable governance scheme based on mutual trust. When conduct activities, not only the quantity of information shared, but also the accuracy and credibility of data are the significant properties we should take careful consideration into. Actual hands-on cooperating activities such as activating mutual exchange exercises, such as exchanging specialties, expanding numbers of joint new technology development projects, and holding joint seminars for sharing best practices and know-how should not be neglected as some of the constructive means to improve trust in relations. Lastly, let me mention about the government network management status. NIRS provides KNET, the National Information Communications Network Services. KNET consists of networks of government agencies. It is the shareable communications infrastructure which enables inter-institutional information circulation. Backbone nets across the nation connect 17 metropolitan and major provinces. Regional governments and their bodies organize nets per region, which are linked to the majors. Furthermore, KNET is able to prevent unrequired traffic influx into the administrative agencies in advance by separately structuring domestic and international ISPs. Expanded notion of KNET is the National Integrated Network. It's called NIN, we say. National Integrated Network Implementation Project is to build up the pan-governmental network platform environment, which used to be operated independently by 48 government agencies, shown on the left image of the slide, to a set of newly configured net, a to-be model, shown as the image on the right. To improve network survivability, NIRS not only implemented the device, network line, and node redundantly, but also employed TSDN technology, which could handle a demand like a backbone net extension more flexibly. Through these projects, amount at $84.3 million US costs for network management will be reduced down for a decade. Now is the roadmap of NIRS. This is pretty much the sum of presentation that I have provided so far. Since our launch in Daejeon in 2005, we have strived our best to achieve each goal, and Gwangju Center was always with us since 2007. Consolidation of resources took place since 2009, and cloud service was implemented in 2013. The big data service was introduced in 2015, and it has now absorbed into the role of the Ministry of Interior and Safety since 2020. The cloud team was newly launched in 2016 to get close to a performance-based institution, and Daegu Center and Gwangju Center will be established in 2021 and 2022 respectively. As I mentioned through the presentation, NIRS has successfully operated and managed government's important information assets as world's first pan-governmental integrated data center since its establishment in 2005. We will keep making our best efforts with 4 smart centers as a proficient institution leading the digital government. I truly appreciate your interest in NIRS, and to express my appreciation, I have prepared a vlog led by a staff at NIRS, which was made for Digital Government Day in Korea. The video is in Korean, but it has English subtitles, so you would be able to enjoy it as well. And I think it's way more interesting than my presentation, I believe. So should I start then? When you're ready, I'll be playing.
안녕하세요. 저는 행정안전부 국가정보자원관리원에 근무하고 있는 곽재하 주무관입니다. 오늘은 전자정부의 날인데요. 2017년 대한민국의 전자정부의 우수성을 국민들에게 알리고자 제정한 기념일입니다. 예년 같았으면 전자정부에 관심 있는 국민들을 저희 관리원에 모시고 견학하는 시간을 가졌을 텐데요. 올해는 안타깝게도 코로나19 상황으로 비대면 온라인 랜선 투어로 진행하고자 합니다. 모쪼록 저희 비전문가인 공무원들이 만든 콘텐츠 유익하고 재밌게 봐주세요. 그럼 출발하겠습니다. 렛츠 기릿! 저희 국가정보자원관리원은 국가 중요시설기관으로서 방문하실 때 철저한 신분검사 절차가 필요합니다. 방문 신청을 승인받은 후 신분증을 제시하고 방문증을 발급받아 소지품을 확인한 뒤 출입하실 수 있습니다. 이때 USB, 휴대용 보조 배터리, 노트북, 녹음기, 사진기들은 소지가 불가하오니 유의해주세요. 자, 그럼 들어가 보실까요?
안녕하세요, 국민 여러분. 저는 국가정보자원관리원장 강동숙입니다. 이렇게 저희 관리원을 랜선으로 방문해 주셔서 대단히 감사합니다. 저희 정보자원관리원은 인공지능, 빅데이터, 클라우드 등 첨단 IT 기술을 이용해서 대한민국 정부 부처의 정보 자원을 통합 관리하는 기관입니다. 할 말은 많지만 제가 이야기 많이 하면 재미없고 저희 관리원의 홈페이지를 이용해 주시면 대단히 감사하겠습니다. 다시 한번 저희 원을 방문해 주셔서 대단히 감사합니다.
자, 이번에는 전자정보 홍보관으로 가보실까요? 안녕하세요. 이곳 전자정보 홍보관이란 어떤 곳인가요?
이곳은 대한민국 전자정부 대표 서비스에 대해 소개하는 공간입니다. 지난 10년간 전 세계 150개국에서 약 5천여 명의 외국인이 이곳을 방문했고 연평균 80회 950여 명의 내외국인이 대한민국 전자정부를 벤치마킹하고 있습니다. 정부에서 제공하는 다양한 전자정부 서비스 중 관세, 조달 등 국제적으로 인정받고 해외로 수출된 대표 서비스들을 소개하고 있습니다. 국가정보자원관리원의 역할에 대해서 설명하고 있습니다.
이제 종합상황실로 한번 가볼까요? 안녕하세요. 종합상황실이란 어떤 곳인가요?
종합상황실은 저희가 관리하고 있는 정부 부처 관련 정보 시스템들을 종합적으로 관제를 하고 있는 곳인데요. 정보 시스템에 이벤트가 발생을 했다든지 아니면은 다운이 발생했다든지 아니면 장비가 갑자기 고장이 발생했다든지 그런 것을 종합적으로 관측을 하고 있습니다. 홈페이지 관제도 병행을 하고 있는데요. 홈페이지가 만약에 문제가 생기면은 장애 대응반을 소집을 해가지고 빠르게 조치할 수 있도록 저희가 지원을 하고 있습니다.
아, 그런 곳이군요. 자, 이번에는 전자정보의 신작. 전산실로 가보겠습니다. 안녕하세요. 이곳 전산실은 어떤 곳인가요?
이곳 전산실은 4층에 위치한 6전산실이 되겠습니다. 감사원, 교육부, 문체부, 복지부 등 행정안전부를 포함한 주요 클라우드 시스템이 구축되어진 시스템이 되겠습니다. 총 이제 29개 입주 기관과 그리고 14,350대의 서버 네트워크 보안, 백업 스토리지가 구축되어진 시스템입니다. 여기 보시면 저희가 있는 6전산실은 서편과 동편이 있고요. 저 반대편에 있는 서편은 DR 시스템이라고 해서 재보, 그러니까 즉 안정적으로 서비스를 운영하는 주요한 전산실이 되겠습니다.
지금까지 국가정보자원관리원이었습니다. 내년에 다시 만나요. 안녕!
Thank you so much for your attention through the presentation, and I hope it was not the most boring session of your life. Please think this way, that if the session was indeed boring, that's not because I'm a boring person. It's because I can only provide very limited information. So yeah, I know it's such an excuse, and I hope you did enjoy the session. Thank you so much again for your attention, and I hope to see you in person at NIRS in Daejeon after the COVID-19. I'll wait for you at the place, and I wish you prosperity at all times. Thank you so much.